All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating 0-0 draw between Liverpool and Leeds United. It was a classic case of an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, and trust me, the tactical chess match behind it was absolutely brilliant.
So let's just jump right into the big question here. How could a team dominate an entire game, control everything, but still walk away without a single goal? I mean, it doesn't really make sense, does it? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to piece together right now.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to talk about Liverpool's attack, or maybe the frustrating lack of a final product. Let's break down why all that dominance just didn't translate into goals.
I mean, look, Liverpool had all the pieces for a win, right? They had way more of the ball. They were constantly getting into the final third. They were creating tons of opportunities. On paper, they were in total control.
But here's the thing. It all boiled down to this one crucial element, the final touch. You know, that last pass, that last dribble right before the shot. And for Liverpool, that final touch and the shot that followed it just wasn't sharp enough. It led to easy saves, blocked shots, you name it.
And this problem actually started a bit deeper, in the midfield. They were passing the ball around smoothly, no doubt about it, but they just couldn't find that one single killer pass to really slice open that Leeds defense.
And this quote just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? The classic problem, creating chances but not converting them. It's the story of the whole game for Liverpool. They did everything right up until the very last second.
But hey, let's be fair. Liverpool's frustration wasn't just on them. We have to look at the other side of the equation here, the Leeds defensive wall. And what a wall it was. Just a masterclass in pragmatic, effective defending.
And this is where you can really see the tactical chess match play out. Liverpool's game plan? Get their wingers one-on-one, use their speed, push high. But Leeds, they had the perfect counter strategy. A low block with 8, sometimes 9 players packed into their own penalty area. They basically just said, you shall not pass.
Look, Leeds was not trying to win any style points here. This was not pretty, but man, was it effective. Their whole strategy was about results, not flair. And by just clogging up all that space, they totally neutralized Liverpool's attack.
And how did they build this fortress? Well, it was a team effort. You had the goalkeeper pulling off key saves when needed. The center backs were like magnets to every cross that came in. And they weren't afraid to use those little tactical fouls to just break up the rhythm. Every single dangerous ball, cleared. Simple as that.
Now, don't think for a second that Leeds was just sitting back and absorbing pressure. No way. They were like a coiled spring, always threatening a super-fast counterattack. They were just waiting for one little mistake, and that threat alone meant Liverpool could never fully commit everyone forward. It kept them honest.
So, this game went beyond just X's and O's on a tactic board. It turned into a full-on psychological war out there on the pitch. It was Liverpool's pressure and desperation against Leeds' patience and resolve.
And for Liverpool, you could literally see this cycle of frustration happening in real time. First, there's the immense pressure. They need these 3 points. So what happens? They start rushing things, forcing passes and shots that aren't really on. Then they start missing those shots, which just wastes opportunities. And with every miss, you could see their confidence just sink. It was a vicious cycle.
So, at the end of the day, when you look at the whole picture, that 0-0 scoreline, it wasn't a surprise, it wasn't a fluke. It was kind of the inevitable outcome when you have two strategies that just perfectly cancel each other out.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you have Liverpool. They were the better team, technically, but they just weren't decisive enough, and that led to pure frustration. On the other side, Leeds. Disciplined, patient, and the result for them was a hard-earned stalemate. Really, one team's frustration was the other team's victory.
And this whole match leaves us with a really big question, one that coaches and fans debate all the time. In a game like football, where the margins are so tiny, what's more important? Is it raw, attacking talent, or is it disciplined, organized defense? After watching this game, you've got to say there's a pretty strong argument for defense.